Hey guys, Jared here. So for my first video, rather than me just talking into the camera by myself, I wanted to get personal. So I invited a good friend of mine over who's newly vegan himself just to ask a few questions, give you guys a little bit of background on my weight loss.
What's up, buddy?
Hey man.
So, when you first started, how much did you weigh?
I was 465 pounds when I started in April of 2012.
And then how long did it take to get down to the weight that you wanted to be at?
Well, the weight that I wanted to be at was, at first, about 250 pounds, which I surpassed, obviously. It took me 9 months to go from 465 to about 220 pounds.
So it only took you 9 months?
It took me 9 months.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, so what did you do for diet and exercise? How did you eat? Obviously you were vegan, but
yeah.
How strict?
Well, I adopted a high-carb, raw vegan diet where I ate 100% fruits and vegetables. I'd say about 90% fruits, 10% vegetables.
That's good. And what did you do for exercise?
Well, for exercise, in the very beginning of my weight loss, I'd say for the first 2 months, I really didn't do much of anything, actually. I maybe did some walks here and there. I was still transitioning. I was getting results just by diet alone. So it wasn't really until deep into month 2 that I adopted an exercise program where I started hiking, going on walks more regularly. I got a gym membership, and once I got my gym membership, I started off slow. I just started hitting the treadmill, hitting the weights lightly, and then I eventually got up to where I was hitting the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I would do an upper body split where I would do chest and back one day. I would do arms and arms and core one day, and I hit legs twice a week. And I'd also throw in some cardio there as well. I mean, cardio was what was getting the weight off, whereas the lifting was what was toning it.
What was your exercise like before you started actually dieting? Do anything? Or?
No. Well, when I was, you're 460
potato chips.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you're 465 pounds, you're not doing much for exercise. I wasn't very active. I was very limber. I was very flexible for my size, but I didn't do much of exercise. I mean, I played sports when I was a kid. Even being overweight, I still played soccer and stuff. But I didn't do much for exercise. Man, I was very lazy, very much out of shape.
So, what drove you to become vegan? That seems, to a lot of people, that seems extreme. I just started, so I did the research too and kind of got a better understanding of it.
Right.
What was your drive to go raw vegan?
My drive to go raw vegan. Well, I had tried other diets before. I tried low carb. I tried the Atkins. I tried South Beach diet and stuff, and it didn't seem to work for me. Well,
It's not sustainable.
It really wasn't. My body was craving carbohydrates, and I would lose a little bit of weight, and I would just gain it back, and I just couldn't stick with it. But I kind of fell into this diet by accident. I kind of discovered it by accident. I remember I was really desperate to find something that worked. 465 pounds. Yeah, I was really looking for an answer, and I was on YouTube and I came across one of Durian Ryder's videos. If you guys haven't heard of Durian Ryder, I suggest you guys check him out. And he was talking about this high carb, vegan, fruit-based diet. And at first I just wasn't buying it. And then I started doing some research. I started watching more videos, reading some of the testimonials, and it really became very convincing to me. At first I was very, very dismissive towards it. I hear the word vegan, and it's like, I know it's in one ear, out the other. I was just totally not interested at all. But like I said, I started doing research, and it just seemed to click.
So I have another question. I saw some of the comments on the before and after picture, and a couple of them asked about excess skin. What's up with that?
Well, I do have some excess skin. When you lose more than half your body weight in 9 months, losing 240 some odd pounds.
It's a whole other person.
It's a whole other person.
It's a whole obese person.
Exactly.
It's a whole other obese person.
Exactly. So when you lose that much in a short amount of time, the skin doesn't have enough time to, I guess, retract to the body, from what I've read. And so yeah, I do have some excess skin, and by my plastic surgeon's estimate, I have anywhere between 25 and maybe 30 pounds of excess skin. And I try, honestly, I try not to think about that all too much.
You shouldn't.
And I shouldn't, right. It's because it is a drawback, and there's a negative from it. Well, it's a positive and a negative, but, am I happy having that? No, but I'm a lot happier than being 465 pounds.
On the verge of death.
On the verge of death. Yeah, I mean, really. My dad died of a heart attack at 46. I didn't want to follow in his footsteps, and I knew it at 28 years old, having, being 465, having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar, sleep apnea.
Are you diabetic?
No, I was pretty sure I was on the brink of it for sure. Yeah. And having a long list of other health issues, and I was miserable. I was depressed. My mind wasn't right. I was knocking on death's door. I knew that I was, even just at 28. I just knew that I needed to make a fucking change, really.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
So, what's your mom say when she saw you like for the first time? Because I know you moved up here.
Yeah,
Was there some time that passed before you saw her when you?
Yeah, this? My parents were my parents both were definitely in shock. They're more or less shocked, not just at my results, but at the diet that I was eating. They didn't think that it was going to be sustainable, because I had told them about what I was eating, and they were like, well, why are you eating that? Why aren't you eating this and that? And I kind of had to give them the spiel. And
well, as your coworker, when you first started working there and you told me about what you ate, I never would have thought that I could have done it. But now, like 8 days into my own thing, like it's funny how the food gives you energy and enough benefits to make you want to sustain it. And I can see now how you sustained it.
It does. Exactly, and that's what I really told my parents as well. That this is giving me so much energy, and I feel alive, and that's a good question. How did my parents react? And it's like also, how did my friends react? How did my coworkers react? A lot of people, I tell them my diet, and they're like, oh, well, wow, okay. Like, what about protein? What about this? And your B12? And it's like, I have to go over. Yeah.
Where's your iron?
Exactly. Well, do you still eat eggs? You still eat you still eat cheese and this? And it's like, no, I don't. And that does get a little bit old. But I don't mind explaining to people that are interested and want to know. I'm open to them about it. But one story in general is I saw a friend of mine. I had seen him, I think, about a year before. I saw him right before I started dieting, and I transitioned to this lifestyle. I saw him after I lost all the weight. And I remember I saw him out in public. He didn't know I was going to show up. I talked to one of his other friends. Hey, man, we're here right now. Come surprise him. And he already knew about it. My other friend knew about it. And I went there, and my buddy just was like blown away. He's like, what? He's like, you're blowing my mind right now. He's like, he didn't even recognize me. He thought I was like somebody completely else,
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to have that happen. It was very rewarding. And my family members, same thing. I remember I went to a family get together in February of 2013. So right after I lost everything, and my family was just like blown away. They were just so happy for me.
Yeah, I'd be shocked.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I saw you lose. I think, how much did you weigh when you first started working?
Oh God, I was pushing 400 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a little chubby tyke.
I was.
So are you still 100% raw vegan, or did you go back to cooked food?
I'm no longer 100% raw vegan, but I am still 100% high carb vegan. I eat about 5, maybe 6 cooked meals a week. Mostly starches like potatoes, rice. Eat polenta, steamed vegetables like broccoli and asparagus. And I noticed when I introduced cooked foods back into my diet, I was really nervous about it at first, because I had heard that your body might reject it. Didn't have that issue, and I was worried about how it was going to affect my physique. Especially after you lose out that much, you don't want to gain it back. Yeah. And so I was really apprehensive about it. But I noticed no physique changes. I noticed no difference in my energy and my clarity, anything. It was fine. And the reason why I introduced cooked foods back into my diet is because I like variety. I like eating rice and potatoes and stuff. And if I can maintain everything and I can still be healthy, I'm already eating at the top 1% anyway, I feel. Yeah. So do I really need to take it that much further? Yeah. No, And truth be told, I'll go days and weeks with just staying 100% raw. It's no big deal. It just depends on what I feel like that day.
Mm-hmm. You gotta have variety, or else it's not gonna be sustainable.
Variety's the spice of life, man. Yeah, exactly. Right.
So after doing all this, do you have any regrets about anything Anything going on?
Do I have any regrets? Yeah, you know, I do have. I guess I do have like one regret, and it's kind of a big one. I wish I would have tackled my weight issue when I was younger. You know, being overweight my entire life, it really robbed me of a lot of fun times, a lot of fun experiences. It really does hold you back. Being overweight holds you back. You know, as you know, right?
Yeah, you want to go on roller coaster rides. And you can't
even, that thing doesn't even come down.
The guys come out and they're off.
You know, it's embarrassing when you get in a car and you can't put a seatbelt on, or you get on an airplane and you know.
Or your friends are doing handstands and
yeah, exactly.
You just do foot stands.
But I wish I would have done something earlier about it. You know, because growing up, you know, I was teased and bullied.
Preach.
I was always very self-conscious about my weight growing up, and it carried on into my adulthood. And I let my 20s go by, and I didn't do anything about it until it got really out of hand, right? And you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know, and why I waited until I was 28, 29 to do something about it, I guess I don't know, but I'm thankful that I did decide to do something about it. Because like I said, I was really I felt like I was on the verge of death. I mean, I was just a mess.
And now that you are this age, you're still relatively young. You have so much time. And
I'm bitching about being 31 years old.
So many opportunities.
And, right.
I mean, you are kind of old, but...
Yeah. Compared to you, yeah.
You know?
Right.
But you have so many opportunities now, it's like...
You know, man, and I may have my regrets, but you know, a lot of good things have come out of this. And like I said about the skin thing, I can't sit there and dwell on the drawbacks. And that's one thing that I have to keep reminding myself, because you know the reason why I'm doing this video series, the reason why I'm getting this out there is because I guess I want to inspire somebody who might be in the position that I was in, you know, 2-3 years ago, where you felt kind of hopeless and you're overweight, you're depressed, and you're trying to find a solution for the problem. And this lifestyle just does work. It works. And there's a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters out there, but the proof's in the pudding. You know, I'm a walking, breathing example of what can be done in this lifestyle. And I want to give back to the people that gave me so much during this lifestyle transition. You know, I have a whole new way of looking at life, of enjoying my life. And people like Durian Ryder, like Freely, they were the ones that were, whether they know this or not, they were the ones coaching me all along. Really. You know, watching their videos and feeling inspired and motivated and to stick with it. You know, and really I didn't want to look back. I didn't want to fail. I gave 110% into this. You know, I was
never questioning it.
Never questioned it. I became so small-mindedly disciplined that it became almost an obsession where I just wanted the weight off. And that's probably part of the reason why it came off so quickly. Is I wanted it more than anything in my life. I wanted to finally feel like what it feels like to be thin, to be in shape, to feel average for once, to not be stared at, not be the biggest person in the room like I was my entire life.
Well, shit.
Well, you know.
But I mean, honestly, like since I've started, I've realized that it's not as much an obsession as it is like it's a lifestyle. It's something that it's not just a diet you're gonna do until you get the weight off. Like
right, exactly.
Once you start doing it, you like believe it because you see the results for yourself. I don't know. That's what I've seen, and I'm just excited to keep going too.
And that's the thing is, I try to catch myself from calling it a diet. At first, it was a diet. It was just about the food, and the food aspect of veganism is only one variable. Because this lifestyle is I said this in one of the Facebook comments, replies that I made, is that this lifestyle is a cause. It's rooted in ethics, and the diet alone is just one part of it. You know, there's so much more out there. This is a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. And a lot of people who get on board with this, they just look at it from their own results. Well, you know, there's the environment to worry about. There's, you know, the meat and dairy industry, which is, you know, we know is just
forks over knives. Watch
that. I watch so many documentaries. It's not even funny, and I'm
Yeah, you just have to do the research.
Exactly. So I do get a little bit shaky when people call it a diet, because to me it's like this is a lifestyle. It encompasses every part of your life. You know?
Yeah.
You become healthy overall. You get that
clear. Yep.
There you go.
A little veil is lifted.
Exactly.
I agree with you. Well, good chat.
Good chat, my man.
Solid chat, dude.
Yeah. Boom. Welcome to the vegan trend, man.
Can't wait to chug along.
So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Stay tuned for more videos, and I appreciate all the positive feedback I've gotten online, on Freely the Banana Girls page, all the comments I've gotten. It's been really wonderful. Keep coming back with your questions. My life's like an open book, so just hit me up. All right, thanks guys.
Flip that page.